The psalm I want to reflect on is Psalm 42, and I'm going to read the first 7 verses of that psalm. As the deer longs for the water brooks, so longs my soul for you, O God. My soul is athirst for God, even for the living God. When shall I come before the presence of God? My tears have been my bread day and night, while all day long they say to me, where is now your God? Now when I think on these things, I pour out my soul, how I went with the multitude and led the procession to the house of God, with the voice of praise and thanksgiving, among those who kept holy day. Why are you so full of heaviness, O my soul? And why are you so disquieted within me? O put your trust in God, for I will yet give him thanks, who is the help of my countenance and my God. I've loved that psalm ever since I was an angelic-looking choir boy. There's something hard to imagine, I know. And I probably liked it because that first verse with its image of the deer by the water brooks brought Bambi to mind and this idyllic scene. But actually, that's not what this psalm is about at all. If we want green pastures and still waters, we must look elsewhere, to Psalm 23. This is the story of a deer in dire need of a drink, exhausted and weary, and desperately searching and failing to find water. And the psalmist compares himself to the deer, though not as someone who is thirsty for water, but someone who is thirsty for God. And just as the deer once knew the course of the brook and where to find water, so the psalmist once knew where to find God, but is currently struggling to do so. And in this time of emotional and spiritual dryness, has no answer to those who taunt him with the question, where is now your God? Even to him, God currently feels hard to find, as hard as the stream is to the deer. Now, I've returned to this psalm several times during the pandemic, and increasingly as each lockdown has felt more wearing and exhausting. Like most people, on one level, I'm fine. And yet on another level, well, let's just say I feel dehydrated. I'm dehydrated through lack of company, variety, and stimulation, spiritually and emotionally. I guess you may be feeling some of that too. And we can, of course, chastise ourselves that we should be feeling better. After one quick look at the TV news, we can say, well, there's people far worse off than I am. And with the psalmist, therefore say, why am I so full of heaviness, O my soul? Why am I so disquieted within me? And the psalmist knows that whilst he might find an answer to that question within himself, just as I can identify to some degree why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, the psalmist knows that he won't find the solution within himself. Just telling yourself to binge on another box set of Netflix ain't going to do it. The psalmist knows that in spite of everything, he needs to say to himself and to us, look out of yourself. Put your trust in God, the God you can't find right now, who is the help of my countenance and my God. The psalm encourages us to be honest about ourselves, about how we're feeling, about how I'm feeling. I am how I am, to paraphrase the song. But also to trust that the stream of God's grace that I've known in the past hasn't dried up. It's an underground stream which will in time break ground. This time of separation and isolation has been hard, but with the psalmist, we will go in time with the multitude, maybe even without masks, into the house of God. And looking back, we will see that God was with us, just as we've known God to be with us in the past. The psalmist repeats the refrain in the psalm twice, and I'm going to repeat it again. Oh, put your trust in God, for I will yet give him thanks, who is the help of my countenance and my God. That's the psalmist's prayer. It's mine. May it be yours also.